tries to turn, he shoots, and that one squeezes in!
Opportunity for Charlotte off the set piece. It is going to be the man out of Poland. The shot, yes!
And it's gone in! It's an Olympico! Yoshiki pulls it back, the shot, and another goal!
And look who's coming on. Ryan Romero. Here's Romero. Take the shot, kid.
Goal!
For the city, for the crown.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Offsides Podcast, the unofficial official podcast of Charlotte Football Club. I'm your host, Andres Robledo, and I'm joined by my co-host, who is now being demoted to assistant until this team starts performing better. That's right, Pablo. You're being demoted by a performance review did not go out well. Unfortunately, it's not based on your performance. It's based on Charlotte's performance. So if you want to get that title of co-host again, you better hope the team starts winning.
So what am I, like intern?
You're an assistant for now. If they go 0-6, then yeah, you're gonna be intern.
Oh,
And if they go 0-9, you're gonna be a disturbance to the peace, and I'm gonna have to call the cops on you.
fingers crossed.
So yeah, your livelihood depends on the team's performance. Hopefully that lights a fire under their ass and turns things around. It's the only thing I can think of to do.
I'll make sure to send them a DM.
Guys are costing me fictional money.
Crypto.
Okay, let's jump into the episode. So Charlotte had an early home game this past Saturday against our 85 rivals Atlanta. The game
I thought you were gonna say an early goal.
they had that too. Well, they didn't have an early goal. Atlanta had an early goal. We'll get to that.
Yikes.
No, I did want to just touch on the nice tifo that the team made with in remembrance of Anton Walks with half Atlanta jersey, half Charlotte jersey. Cool to remember that part of him, and a lot of cool like scarves and stuff with his name showing that half Charlotte, half Atlanta. So I thought it was a really cool tribute, really nice. And if you go to any of the games, you can actually buy a Anton Walks like patch that's in remembrance of him, and all of the proceeds go to his foundation. So that's also something really cool that the team's doing, and you can get that at the team store and I think online as well. We're not really
I didn't
affiliated
know
with
that was that's what it was. I thought it was like half home jersey, half away jersey. I couldn't tell because I'm colorblind. I thought it was just a black one. I didn't know it. It was a red one until
Yeah.
you just said it. I'm just not realizing it and scrolling through everything. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I guess he's in our hearts, home and away.
No, so for those who don't know, like Pablo, Anton Walks spent the first 3 years of his MLS career with Atlanta United, and then we took him in the expansion draft. And he spent our inaugural season with us, obviously. So yeah, it's a really cool remembrance. Unfortunately, we didn't get to fully honor him with that performance we had. But other than that, I thought it was a really cool tribute. But let's jump into the match. Again, we're going to kind of keep it like we've been doing these past couple episodes of just high level talk, and then we'll jump into a couple of topics. And we had one Twitter follower ask a question, so we'll talk about that as well. But yeah, give me your overall thoughts on the match. We had, let down 2 early goals and then a third one by the end of the first half. I mean, what'd you think of that first half performance?
Oh, that was pretty atrocious. I saw this. I think it was the Charlotte FC memes page, where like he posted a thing where if you want to go get popcorn and a drink, and I was like, oh yeah, because I think they had the 2 goals within the first
12
11
minutes.
minutes. Yeah. So when I scored that first one, I was like, okay, it's early on in the game, we can come back. And then they scored that second one, which was like almost a mirror image of itself.
Yeah.
Like the same defensive breakdown, just about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they got the second one, I was like, this is going to be a long game. Because like you
Yeah,
said, it
and-
was almost the exact same way.
Yeah, well, just about all the goals were almost the exact same way. And then
Yeah.
like I thought maybe we were gonna come back when they gave us that PK and then they took it right back.
They giveth and they taketh away.
Yeah, little Indian given there.
Yeah. So let's talk about the first two goals. Like you said, they happened pretty quickly, but that first one, I mean, it kind of comes off like a really bad pass from Bronico to Yazwiak, and then Atlanta just counter and are able to play it to the back post. And I mean, Nathaniel Byrne is like nowhere near the guy he should be covering. Like he's pushed so far forward. And I mean, there was just like no way he was gonna make it back to cover that guy. He was so far up the field. And then pretty much for the second goal, I think it was a similar incident where just want to pull it up on the highlights here. Shoot, I'm just now missing it. But I mean, what did you think of like his positioning and how the back line was set up there to lead to that goal?
When I saw the lineup, I thought it was like, okay, yeah, like, it wasn't too bad last week. We just had like some bad luck. So I was okay with it. But now I'm really starting to kind of like question it. I don't know if Bronico needs to be on that side. I don't know about Byrne either. I mean, I hate to say it because I was really like rooting for him, especially when we first signed him on. But
I mean, he was good towards the end of last season when he first joined. I don't know what's happened.
Exactly. It's just like I don't know if he's just starting off cold or what, but or maybe it's just a formation and how they're trying to play him on the field.
Yeah.
Not sure. But I don't know. I think there's definitely some sort of defensive breakdown. Then again, Atlanta, they're a pretty strong team. They've been around for a while. But, so is every other MLS team we're coming up against, especially Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just bad overall communication. Just looking back at it, it's pretty bad how it happened. It just unfolded.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, when they saw that the starting lineup was the same against as it was against St. Louis, were pretty disappointed. But I think like if you think about it, it does kind of make sense to put those same guys back out there, because it wasn't really like you didn't really get to see how well it could have been, because we just like shot our own leg off. Like the Burn or the Taluma own goal. Like that's kind of like a rare occurrence to happen. And then like the Yazuak or no, the Swiderski penalty, like that's pretty rare to happen as well. And then like the Malanda blunder, like again, like that's just
he
something.
Almost had a similar instance, I think, in the second half.
Oh, okay. I think I might have missed that part, but I was gonna say like it's kind of just like it was kind of like a freak game. You don't want to like put too much weight into that. Like it's some sloppy stuff that you could fix, but then this one, like, I mean, that back line just got exposed.
Yeah. And that first goal, I mean, it was like the guy had
so much
space.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I don't feel like that was like a super hard shot. I mean, I'm not in, Pablo's Cisniaga's position, but I feel like he could have blocked that. I feel like he could have blocked a lot of those shots. So I don't know if like his reflexes aren't there, or I don't know, man. I'm saying like put Kalina back on, or even try Marks out, because I mean he had a couple that just like went by him.
Oh, I don't know, man. Like the guy's one-on-one with him. It's hard to one-on-one. It's hard to block a shot.
Yeah, especially when like they're both inside the box. It's a lot closer than it seems.
And it's only like 4 minutes in. Like, I mean, I know he's a professional, but I don't know. I feel like you're just not ready. You're like not really like turned on yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to catch you by surprise being that early. Like, wait, what? I was like, I just got done singing the national anthem. And even the third goal was pretty much like the exact same thing as like the second goal, of just like letting him get into the box and just pass it to the back post, and the guy's like totally free. Yeah. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I felt like we just didn't know what to do. Like we had no like real good ideas of how to break them down. We had we got in a lot of good areas, but like anytime we were in the box, whoever had the ball like did not want to shoot. They wanted to find like one more pass. And then a lot of the other times it was like, okay, we're at the top of the box, play it out wide to the winger or the overlapping fullback, and then cross it. And it's like every time they cross it, you know, they're trying to get it to
They had at
Copetti.
least, and every time they crossed it, there was like 4 to 5 Atlanta players in the box already.
Yeah. I was like, dude, he's so marked. Like, why are you? And they just kept going to that like over and over and over.
Yeah,
and
that was their whole play. I didn't like that too much. I'm trying to find some positives about this game. I don't want to be so negative on these guys.
Yeah, but I mean, this performance was really bad.
Yeah,
like, that's one of the worst I've seen
Gosviak
ever.
just missing shots completely.
Dude,
and then the
his
ref
dribble,
and
when he dribbled it straight out of bounds on like a fast break, it's like, oh
yeah.
That one hurt. That one really hurt.
That's like regular season Gosviak. That was 2022 Gosviak.
Yeah. So just, I mean, what are some of the positives we could take out from this match?
Let's see. So we know our crossing should not be our main attack. I don't know if that's a positive, but that's like is not negative.
We're still bad at corner. Okay, I do have one. Tuluma's free kick was good.
Yeah, Tuluma's free kick was good.
And Swiderski's free kick was good.
Swiderski's wasn't too bad either.
Yeah,
they were both close, but it's like get it on goal at least. Belando almost redeemed himself with that little
dude. Yeah, that would have been good.
Bicycle.
But also, like, why aren't you just like scissor kicking it or like, you know, swinging around and hitting it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like there's a better way to deal with that ball than what he did, but it was close.
I still like on the breakaway. If you look at Atlanta when they counter us, you can see like why it's so easy for them to score. Because on the breakaway, you know, we're playing the left wing back and the right wing back, and they're, you know, we have the ball, we're attacking, but then we lose the ball to that. I felt like we lost the ball a lot to those 50-50 crosses. Yeah. And then Atlanta's breaking away. So now we're running back, and 2 of our defensive players are still up in the attacking. So now it's like a 4-on-3 or a 3-on-3, and it's just like our defense is just getting outnumbered. And just about for each of those goals, our defense was outnumbered heavily. Yeah. At least 2 out of the 3 they were.
The one thing that I think we forgot to mention on last week's episode about Atlanta that kind of came to my mind, like once I saw their starting lineup, was I forgot how good their fullbacks are at also just getting involved in the attack. And if you rewatch the match, like a lot of the times that they do build up play, Byrne and Bronico are just having to like try to cover 2 guys, like the winger and the fullback. And Swiderski and Yazwiak, I just felt like did a really poor job of like coming back to help. And especially on Bronico's side, it just felt like he was always having to pick like what guy to try to defend, like the guy with the ball or the guy making the run. And like, you know, it's a 50-50 chance that he's going to pick the right guy. And I just felt like that was like they were just exposing that so much.
Yeah, I hear you. Because a lot of the times you just see like Swiderski, he only comes back for on the defensive side maybe like halfway, but like he doesn't fully come back.
Yeah, and I feel like once every 3 times Yazwiak will come all the way back. He definitely does a better job than Swiderski, but like, there was plenty of times he left Bronico out to dry.
I don't know if Swiderski is really working out in that position.
Yeah, I mean,
you need somebody that can do both. Like you need a box-to-box player, and Swiderski, honestly, I don't think he's too happy playing that position, and it's just like
he does not look happy.
No, he's just like giving it 50%.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that issue we brought up after the New England game, right? Like clearly Lattanzio didn't like what he saw at that number 10 spot. I mean, he switched him after like 60 minutes, which is like the fastest switch we've seen. And he hasn't put him back there since then. and he's not doing a whole lot at right wing. I mean, neither of our wingers are doing a whole lot, but like it just kind of goes back to what we were saying at the start of the season. It's like if he can't operate as the number 10 and he can't play the wing, and we're wanting Capetti to play the 9, it's like, where does Swiderski fit in? Do we try to sell him and bring someone else in, or what? I don't know.
Right.
But,
Well, I don't know if you need to sell him.
yeah, no, I'm just kind of throwing like ideas out there, but it
Now, if
definitely
we
seems
can
like it's
trade
going to
him
be
for
an
like
issue.
one of those Canadian players. Who is it that got those two crazy DPs? Was it Toronto?
Yeah, they got the 2 Italian guys.
Yeah. Maybe we can trade them.
Yeah, that'd be a Swiderski for both Italians.
We'd have to use all the highlights from last season, though.
Yeah.
No highlights from this one. But yeah, I don't know. I think honestly, we're 3 games in, all losses, so it's a 3 up, 3 down type of situation. I think we need to try a new formation.
Yeah.
I think we need to try a new game of attack, or a new plan of attack. I mean, I think
Or
a
even
new
just
formation
even
is
if
gonna have to.
I was gonna say, even if it's not going to be a new formation, like I just think we're not putting our best 11 out there. Like I thought, in the St. Louis game, Bronica did fine at left back, but this game I felt like he kind of really got exposed. Like I don't understand why Mora's not there. Like I thought in the first game Mora
Right.
did a good job. Like he set up a good cross for Westwood to almost score. I think he also set one up for Capetti. Like seems to like overlap Yazwiak a bit better than Bronico does. So I feel like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Every time Vargas and Santos come on the field, like the dynamic changes. We've like every time they've come on, we have almost scored like within the first 5 minutes of them coming on. So it's like, why is Yazwiak still starting? Why is Shinsky still starting when you've got Vargas and Santos who've been playing well? And then also like, Ben Bender, even though he's young, like I think was tied for like the 3rd most goals and 2nd assists. Like he hasn't seen a single minute yet, which is really
But I think
odd.
even one of the Atlanta players that scored was a young guy. So
Yeah,
that
I mean
shouldn't take away anything.
the guy that scored twice is 18. I mean New England played with a 17-year-old in midfield.
Right.
So it's just like it's just odd that we're not trying out these different players and stuff. It's kind of weird. One thing I did want to talk about, and you mentioned, it's still a long season. First 3 games, 3 losses, which is, I think, same as last year. But one thing I did want to mention, that I did want to mention though is, is it poor performances, or are we just kind of running into the best teams early? Because you look at the league tables right now, and again, it's still early in the season, so we'll see how it shakes out at the end. But Atlanta are in first; they're 3-0. New England is in 4th. I think they're 2-1, and then, or maybe 2 and a tie. And then St. Louis is in first in the West, and they're 3-0.
That's crazy. They're 3-0.
Yeah.
It's either
so they're just kind of like a run of bad luck.
And they're having a run of good luck, like St. Louis is.
Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? I think these things could definitely flip.
Is it crazy that they're in first, or is it just crazy that the tactics that we're trying?
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the question I want to bring up is like, is it just our schedule's tougher than we originally thought, or is the team just performing way worse than we thought? A mix of both, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think St. Louis still should have been a win for us. I think we just got in our own head on that one, and there was just a lot of defensive errors. But that's done and over with. Atlanta, I thought we were gonna at least get 2 on those guys. But it's just our plan of attack does not seem to be working out. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me why, if after 30 minutes of almost basically no shots on goal, and all you're doing is crossing and leaving these 50-50 balls up for the Charlotte players that are outnumbered in the box already to try to head in. I don't know why you're pursuing this plan of attack. We didn't have good luck with it last year. We're certainly not having any luck with it this year. We've had one header go in this season, and that's from Capetti. But it wasn't like that's the type of play that they drew up. Like you could clearly see when it was building up to that type of play because Zaderski would kind of hold the ball out to the right side, then Byrne would get open around just right outside the corner of the box, and then cross it in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think like everybody kind of like at least the Atlanta players figured it out because they would all just bunch up in there, and we just throw these balls up there for a 50-50 ball, and it's just like, why leave it up to chance? Why not pass the ball up to the top of the box and then try to pass it in towards inside or like.
Or just take some shots from the top of the box.
Yeah, take some shots. Some more direct shots is what we needed. Even when we were in the box, like you said, it was like players were just unsure of themselves or they wanted to just get the extra pass, and it's just like, just take the shot. Like, you guys are down bad.
Yeah.
Even in the second half was just, Atlanta knew what they had to do, just run out the clock, and I feel like the Charlotte players played with very like lack of intensity.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get back in a 3-0 game, beginning of the second half, it should have been at least like 4 to 5 shots on goal or attempts.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like the intensity was just low, real low.
And also just like Latanzio not making any changes either. Like,
right.
I think the first sub came on in like the 70th minute or something, and then
I think it was like mid-60 Vargas came on, and then mid-70th.
Like Awful came on, right?
Awful came on, yeah. And then
it was like 80-something for Santos. It's like, dude, you got to make
right,
those
yeah. No, it should have been
sooner
Vargas
and
Santos
more.
going in. Yeah.
I think he should have made more subs too.
The scoreline that we had.
Yeah. Like throw a Bender on.
It was just bad overall. Just bad.
Yeah.
You could, I mean, we were both there at the stadium. You could hear all the crowd booing.
I mean, they booed the team at the end of the game. That was crazy.
Yeah. Now,
Did you get in on that?
And I stood up and I clapped.
Nice. You're classy.
By myself. It was me and the old lady sitting beside me. Not my wife. That other old lady.
Got 2 old ladies? Dang, son. I didn't boo
old
either, but I didn't stick around
when we got that PK.
Yeah, you did what?
I accidentally stepped on her foot when they gave us that PK. It's like I stood up. I was like, "Yeah," and then I just stepped on her foot. I'm like, "I'm so sorry." She was like, "It's okay."
Did you throw a beer on her after?
No, everybody was like, I'm pretty sure everybody went to that game with like an extra beer just to throw for the goal, and they're like, "I'm just gonna check this now because it makes it easier to watch."
Yeah, guess I'll risk the the drinking and driving ticket.
Yeah, I'd rather spend it in jail than watching the replay.
I mean, heck, even the video boards on the stadium didn't show the second half.
Even the video boards weren't working.
They were like,
that wasn't working for us.
I was like, yeah, those people just went home. I don't think they stuck around. They're like, we're out of here.
They're like, shut it down. Save on power. We're in a recession.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was bad. And even to the point where, was it me or did it seem like there was more Atlanta fans there than
last year?
Or than just Charlotte, period.
No.
Maybe Charlotte fans just left early.
A lot of people definitely left early. No, yeah. A lot of people definitely left early, but they said there was like 1,000 Atlanta fans, which I think makes sense.
I saw 2 big crowds. Like, towards on the other side away from the Tifo.
Yeah.
I guess, there was 2 sections just filled with them.
And they were loud.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they were loud. They showed up.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I saw those 2 sections, and then I saw a bunch of random like Atlanta fans throughout the stadium as well. So they definitely had a nice crowd. I think this is going to turn into like a good rivalry, but I mean, right now they definitely have the advantage. I mean, we got to show up big.
Showing up for their game over there down in Atlanta. But now looking at this, I'm just like, I might
Maybe
just
next
watch it
year.
from the comfort of my own TV.
Yeah.
Too early for this.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts on the match, or any additional comments on it?
I mean, trying to find a positive. Another thing is maybe our goalkeeper can take away is how Atlanta's goalkeeper performed. He seemed to just like kind of risking his body and
Yeah.
uh
Especially because he's an
know.
older guy too.
yeah, he's just out there just like he's real aggressive. To the point where like other people around me were kind of comparison him to Cisniega. They were just like, why isn't our goalkeeper acting like that?
Well, I think he just didn't want to get another Olympico on him. He's like, that is not happening.
Yeah, I was
He probably had to watch that highlight so much last year. He's like, son of a gun.
Yeah, it's even in our intro song, so
yeah,
that was special. But I don't know. I don't think Swiderski's working out on that right side.
Yeah,
I wonder. We're gonna have to put up with bad reffing all year long anyway. So
yeah,
I still can't believe they took that PK away from us. Though it was such a clear foul. The guy like butted.
Yeah, it was like a hip bump.
I
didn't know you could bump hips in the box. I'm gonna do that more often.
Yeah, and he didn't even have the ball.
No, I mean it was a bad whiff by Yazwiak too, though.
Yeah, it was a regular whiff by him.
Gotta at least get a foot on that. Yeah. I had something and then I totally lost it.
The players are frustrated. People are calling for Latanzio's head. I still think it's too early. That's how we started last season.
It's how we started last season, and then you also got to remember, like, I think it was in August where I think we didn't win like a game at all in the month of August, and it was kind of like in the middle of when he was starting to kind of switch things around with the team, and then look how we ended the season, right? Like we looked really, really good towards the end. So
yeah,
we got to give it some time for sure. But I do think he's got to make some lineup changes. Like,
but I think it was just, yeah, I think you're right. Lineup changes are needed, and maybe even tactics. But what I was gonna say is like, I think this season was just a little hyped up a little more than last season. I think last season we knew there was gonna be more losses than wins, and to our surprise, we had more wins than we thought we were gonna get.
Yeah,
especially for a new team. And then going into this new season, we're like, okay, we did pretty good last year. We should do better this year. But it hasn't been the case.
Yeah.
But we're at the bottom of the table now, so
can only go up.
Can go now is, well, unless we stay at the bottom.
Yeah.
Can only go up.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Miami do it. Miami was like what, towards the bottom or second from the bottom. Like they were bad.
Yeah, and then they turned things around.
The end of the season, they turned things around. Did they make playoffs? I can't remember, but I know.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. They might have finished 8th or something.
I thought we finished 8th.
I think we finished 9th.
No, we finished 8th.
Okay. One thing I did want to bring up, we've seen the issues we're having with Yazwiak and Swiderski. Are we regretting letting Reyna go now? He could definitely be a difference maker in games, especially on that left and right wing, and that seems to be where we're struggling the most.
Yeah, I mean that we both kind of covered that already in the early episodes. But Reyna's one that's like I guess we're paying more than usual for him, but I mean like Reyna had goals and Reyna had assists. And Yazwiak has neither.
Yeah.
He might have some assists, but like
I think he hasn't scored a goal in any league appearances in the last like 3 years. I think that's something I read. Yazwiak.
I believe that.
So I think in the championship he hasn't scored, and then in like 2 years, and then last year he didn't score.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think you know, whoever Yazviak's marketing people are, they did very good at getting
yeah,
those tapes over to us.
they
They
sold us on
sold
the
us.
highlights.
Yeah. I remember when we first got him, we were like, okay, this guy seems good. Like, it's gonna be a weapon. And then he wasn't starting games, and we're like, we need to see him. Why isn't he playing? And we're like, oh,
I see
that's why
why.
he's not. That's why he's not playing.
Yeah.
Rooney got us.
Yeah.
Tricked us.
Um
But I mean, I also hate to like let go of players so early on. But at the same time, we're like, we need to bring in players so to build around a certain formation or tactic. And right now, I think we just have like too many randoms out there.
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think like if you really look at it, like Bronico, Sergersky and Shinashinsky are all like playing out of their preferred spots. I mean, the Bronico one
Yeah,
is just kind of like a weird one by Latanzio. I don't know why he wants to use him there instead of Mora, and also like Bronico's been good going forward, like being kind of more of an attacking midfielder.
yeah,
So I don't know why we're not seeing that anymore. And then I think the real big issue is like Sergersky, Chinashevsky, and Kopetti are like kind of all wanting to do the same thing. Maybe Sergersky not as much. I think he does kind of prefer being like the more playmaker type forward. But Shinashevsky and Kopetti are like both wanting to be like that main forward kind of guy, and I just again, it's just like, where do you fit in some of these guys? Like, I don't think he is working out as the number 10, but he's still getting starts. I think maybe Latanzio doesn't see Sergersky working out there, but he like still wants him in the starting 11. I think Andre like played way better last season on the wing when we saw him play there, but we haven't seen him there at all this season. So it's just
yeah.
kind of like, I don't know, it's just odd lineup choices. And then like a refusal to adapt or change. Like no Santos, no Vargas, no Bender even. We haven't seen Diop get into the back line at all, which I mean, I guess I understand that one a bit more, but just yeah, I don't know. It's been a weird start. I did
Yeah,
want
it's been
to
a disappointing start for sure.
yeah, absolutely. I did want to shout out one of our Twitter followers who um had something to say about the match and had a question for us.
Bridget,
So Bridget McCall at NC
Bridget
Tiger
Jones.
Girl. She said, "How much is this hurdle that's hindering Charlotte FC from winning? And do you think it's like a mental hurdle?" And I think after this game, like it definitely could be on the attacking side. Like as we saw, like guys don't want to pull the trigger.
Yeah,
They're just kind of getting stuck outside on the wings and just crossing it in, and like there's no real like I mean, I don't want to use the word like creatives. I think it's a little bit like overblown, or it's probably a little bit more complex than that. But there's just like no breaking down of back lines from like the middle of the field. Everything is just getting forced out wide, and teams are just clogging up the center of the box, and we're just getting nowhere. So, I mean, what do you think of that? Do you think it's a mental thing? Do you think it's a tactics thing? What?
no, I think it's a tactics thing. I think it's I don't know if we're just trying. It seems like we're trying the same thing as last year. Remember when we just like drove that to the sides and crossed it in and hope for the best, and it just wasn't working out until we started seeing more shots from the center.
Yeah, because I feel like
And
we ended the season like being able to like break teams more from like a striker getting in behind and playing a through ball
uh
in, or like getting in the box and then passing it across the face of goal and like tapping it in.
yeah, we had more goals like that, and I hate to see midfielders and attackers, because I want to say possession wise we had it for most of the game, but it was like we get the ball, we're working on the attack, and then we finish it with a 50-50 ball, and it's just like to me that doesn't make sense, and I don't like seeing it. It should be just used as like, I don't know, a second resort. I think we need more shots from the outside and passes into the box and just like more direct shots, like you said earlier. The only shots from the outside that we've seen has been from our defense, from Tulioma.
Yeah.
And that was last game.
Yeah.
And then this past game we had, one from Tulioma on a free kick and another one from Swiderski on a free kick. And then the rest were just kind of like, I don't know, freakish toe balls or like no shots at all.
Yeah, I do also wonder if there's a little bit of like team chemistry issues going on, because especially from like, and I don't want to keep trying to bully the Polish guys, but from like Swiderski and Yazbek, like every time they give out like a bad pass or like do a bad cross, they just like point at someone and then like point like to the field. They're like, what like, what are you doing? And they're not the only ones. Like, I've seen Byrne do it. I think I've seen Sinishinsky do it a couple times, but it's like, dude, just quit blaming your teammates for like your shitty pass or your shitty cross. Like, it's definitely on you.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if there's a little bit
Swiderski,
of issues there.
Yeah, I've seen Swiderski both, deliver bad passes and get delivered bad passes. And, each time it's like never his fault.
Yeah.
He's the main one that comes to mind as far as like getting frustrated and just pointing out guys' faults. But I don't know. Overall, like I just went and looked at the stats for this game, and total shots on that Charlotte had was 12, and the shots on target was 3.
Oof.
So that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, and it's Atlanta had 13 shots, but they had 5 on target, and 3 of them went in.
Yeah.
So,
but and also like they're gonna have lower shots too, because in the second half they definitely took their foot off the throttle and
they knew what they had to do.
Yeah,
that was just kill the clock, watch the fans leave.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought people were gonna throw those hats on the field.
That would have been sweet. Maybe I could have got one.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I got Vargas to wave at us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we were like, because we're pretty close. We were like 6 rows from the front.
Oh, nice.
And it was right there by the corner post where they kind of go to warm up.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we saw him walking, and we're like, Vargas. And he looked up, and I threw my hand up, and he waved back. I'm like, he waved at me.
I'm never washing this hand again.
You know who I am, Vargas? You know who I am. No, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is.
And then some little kid was like trying to get Bender to sign his hat and stuff, and Bender said no. And I was like,
you probably couldn't see him because of his hair.
No, Bender definitely looked at the kid and was like, no. Because I was going to send Callie down there to like get a selfie with Vargas and Bender. Like, just give him my phone. I was just going to tell him, just like, give him my phone and they can take a selfie. But I want to say it's also because I think most likely the coach would have been pissed because they were already down like 3-0.
Signing autographs at 3-0.
Yeah. You're down there supposed to be warming up and you're signing autographs and taking selfies.
Sick.
Yeah, and I can imagine just, our high school coach, just if he saw that.
I imagine Bender's like, well, I mean, it's not like you're going to play me anyways.
Yeah, true.
Ever since I grew my hair out.
Yeah.
The longer Bender's hair grows, the less playing time he gets.
Oh, no. That's his weakness instead of his strength.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it.
Yeah, you're going to have to hold him down and buzz his head so it turns into freaking Messi.
No, but yeah, when he told that kid no, it was more like a nervous no instead of like a stern no. It's like, nah, like I can't. Like I would, kid, but I can't. Like I'm already not playing as it is.
Yeah. Are you trying to get fired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to play for independence.
Yeah.
They will knock you down.
Oh man.
But No, yeah, that was it. That's all. Second half was not eventful at all. Just
No, yeah.
even from the Charlotte side, it was just mediocre at
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, I was surprised just like the the vibes of the home games have changed very quickly. Like last
Yeah.
year, even when like they were losing, like people still stuck around and like would clap for the team. Like they're just, thankful like to have a team and stuff.
Yeah.
Now this year it's like, people are leaving in like the 70th minute. Like that stadium was really empty before the final
Oh yeah.
whistle. And then and then at the whistle, everyone just gets up and boos. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god. So there goes all the, stuff that like all the players have been saying lately, like, oh, it's so great to play here. Like the fans are the best. I'd love to get a
I think that was
reaction
like
now. Like these
one of
guys
the
suck.
videos that they put out before the game started was like I think it was Burn or one of the players put out a video about the fan appreciation, how he like appreciates the fans and all this stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, you ain't saying that now.
Yeah. Oh, how quickly
Yeah,
Charlotte
like
fans
the
turn.
fans yelling to Latanzio. They're just like, fix it,
Yeah.
fix it. It's just like,
My
yeah,
favorite thing is on Twitter is seeing people post their like manager mode formations from FIFA on there and be like, this is what I would do. It's
oh,
like,
that's nice.
yeah, I was like, no one gives a shit, honestly.
I mean, we do that. We don't post it, but we talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, but that's different. I know no one cares.
Yeah.
I'm not under some false pretense.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
know that our 70 listeners don't care.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they do. If you do, let us know. I know I don't care about yours.
Yeah.
Mine's right.
You just want to see Ronaldo on the field.
Oh, if we could get Ronaldo,
He ain't coming here.
we ain't got that oil money.
Yeah.
We got that banker money. We got crypto.
We got that Bojangles money.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like fast food.
Once Ronaldo tries Bojangles,
Dude,
he'll
no.
be hooked.
He'll see the food we have down here and be like, no, you guys are all fat. Like,
then we'll have 2 fat Ronaldos.
Yeah.
All right, what were we talking about?
I don't know. Let's start wrapping this thing up though. So we play Orlando away this weekend. We do have one advantage going for us, is that Orlando has a match this weekend as part of the CONCACAF Champions League against the Tigres Unal. Probably butchering.
Yeah. Unam?
Yeah, so I'm probably butchering that, but I think they've played them once already and they tied 0-0.
A tough team to play.
Yeah, and this
They're
is
one
a
of the top
knockout
Mexican
game.
teams. Yeah.
So if it ends 0-0 after 90 minutes, they're gonna have to play extra time. So hopefully that happens and we play like a pretty worn down Orlando, and we can hopefully get the season back on track. And I mean, our first win being an away game, that would be like a nice change of pace. But again, with it being a away game, I am very skeptical about our chances. How are you feeling about the game?
Oh, well, I think we predicted we made a prediction for the first 4 games. The 3 of them the first 3 we thought we were going to be a win, and Orlando a loss.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of flip the script. I'm going to say we win in Orlando.
I'm going to say we lose, so that way hopefully I'm wrong like I always am and we actually win.
One of us is going to be wrong.
That'd be a nice change of pace. We're usually both wrong.
Yeah. Let's do what Charlotte does. 50-50.
Yeah, but they're having an interesting season. They beat New York Red Bulls on opening weekend. That's a tough game. And then they tied Cincinnati and tied DC United. So maybe they're not as strong as they were last year, but again, they're playing in this CONCACAF Champions League, so they're probably definitely feeling a little stretched out, I'm sure. But hopefully that goes to our advantage.
Yeah. I mean, I know we lost to them twice last season, so
yeah.
It's going to be a tough one, but if we can beat this one, if we can get this road or win, then even a tie, I would settle for a tie as a win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
But we got to
'cause
score
we
a
need
goal.
those. Yeah, we
Those
need those
0-0
road.
tie.
We need those road wins.
It needs to
All
be
right,
like a
so
2-2 tie or something.
ooh. Well, I mean, it would still be the same as far as the goal differential.
Yeah, but just to like show that we can score goals. We've only scored 1 goal in 3 matches. You kidding me? That's so bad.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask you, what'd you think of the Atlanta changed up their jersey, right?
Yeah, I think their jerseys look good.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty solid looking jersey
Although I think
in
it's kind of
comparison to
garbage that they get to use gold. Like, I thought only the. I know in like the Champions League, like if you win Champions League, usually you use gold in your home jersey the next season. At least in the UEFA Champions League, like in Europe. So I think that same rule should apply. You should only get to use gold if you like won a big tournament.
Well, didn't Atlanta win the cup already?
No.
Atlanta?
Oh yeah, like a couple years ago. But you only get the
But this
gold
is
for one
America.
season.
This is America's. Once a winner, always a winner.
They got bailed out by the government. It's messed up.
Yeah. Different rules.
No, but their jersey is sweet. I do like the red and black.
I do like that rule though, the gold rule. Also,
Yeah.
I think we should start putting stars on the jerseys,
Yeah, if you win the league.
except for LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
Everybody, stars start now.
Yeah. Now that we got all the teams, it counts. All the seasons you guys were dominant, there's only like 8 teams. It doesn't count.
Yeah. When you did the weird penalty kicks and
they should bring those back. Are you kidding me? Those are awesome.
yeah, those would be pretty good instead of overtime. I would.
Like I think anytime
PKs,
I think anytime there's a penalty kick, you should just have to do it that way.
Okay, but no VAR. It can't be. Yeah.
Yeah. Get rid of VAR, but bring back the running up PKs. Dude, that would be so entertaining. But I think everyone else would make fun of the league, and they don't want that.
No, yeah, I think they're trying to be taken seriously.
Yeah. Right, if I was in charge...
I think Atlanta does have a star on their jersey.
Oh, okay. So they're just stealing all the European traditions.
Their number 10 is a killer, though. Yes, they do have a star on their jersey. I just saw it.
Their number 10's Almanda, right?
That was Thiago
Almanda, right?
Oh, well, we're both right.
Yeah. I mean, he played at the World Cup. He has a World Cup medal. Like, he is a World Cup winner. Just, that's what you get, you know?
Wow. Well, I guess that's why they're wearing gold.
Different. Yeah, maybe that is why. That's actually pretty respectable if that's why. Like, all right, you win the World Cup, we're wearing gold.
You win, we all win.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if he is going to stay in that team.
Locker room, be like, these were Messi socks if anybody wants to buy him.
Yeah. I doubt he stays in Atlanta for much longer the way he's been playing. I think he gets picked up by someone.
Think so? Let me see. How old is this guy?
He's pretty young. I think he's 22.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't. 21. Yep.
21, yeah. So
21.
That's got to be a good start to your pro career. You've already won the World Cup.
I mean, where else do you go but MLS?
All right, that's gonna wrap it up for me. Any closing thoughts on your end?
No, just let them know where to find us.
That is right. So you can interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at offsides_CLTFC. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we should be on there. Don't forget to leave a review. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend. It helps us grow. And yeah, that is where you can find us. Oh, and also on YouTube at Offsides Podcast. You can listen to all the episodes there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And leave a comment on this episode to see, leave your thoughts on how we'll do against Orlando. See whose side you're going to pick, mine or Pablo's.
I meant our home address, where to find us.
I'll give out yours. I can send all the hate mail there.
Find me on the street. Catch me outside.
All right, we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Ciao.
Wow, wow, wow. You got to love that.